This is the Texas Report, Midday.
And we begin this midday with breaking news out of Coryell County, where a man is now behind bars after a major drug bust in Gatesville. Thanks for joining us here on the Texas Report Midday. I'm Noel Brennan. Gatesville Police, the Coryell County Sheriff's Office, and DEA agents were involved in the investigation. They'd been following a drug operation they say was taking place at the Quick Pack and Ship in the 2000 block of East Main Street. Authorities in California contacted local officials about a package of drugs that was being sent to the Quick Pack and Ship, and local authorities conducted a search warrant at that building yesterday. They arrested Scott Andrew Lemons, this man of Gatesville. He was an employee there. They charged him with possession of marijuana over 5 pounds but less than 50 pounds, and that's a third-degree felony. Well, the sun is out now, and it's shaping up to be a beautiful Valentine's Day. Let's send it over to First Alert meteorologist Mary Mays for a check of our weather. So, Mary, what kind of temperatures are we seeing right now?
Well, we are seeing temperatures warming up into the 50s. Take a look outside right now. You can see 52 in Waco, 55 Temple, 57 in Killeen, and it is 51 in Bryan College Station. And beautiful blue skies, lots of sunshine, turning into a really nice day. Some areas even starting to hit 60. It's already 60 in Hamilton. Seeing low to mid 50s across most of central Texas, however. So a little bit cool, but warming up nicely. We're going to continue to see temperatures warming up, and these southerly winds are helping out a little bit. Winds out of the south between 5 and 10 miles per hour are making it a little bit warmer as well, and just a nice afternoon in store for you. But our temperatures tomorrow are going to be a little bit different. I'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes. Okay,
I imagine they will be a bit different, but almost to 60 for most of us right now, and we could maybe mid 60s later on today.
We're looking at upper 60s, close to 70.
Okay. Even warmer. All right, well, thank you, Mary. And continuing the crime beat, a Belmead man accused of sexually abusing a young girl now knows his punishment. Willie Eugene Pearson was sentenced to 99 years in prison for each count of aggravated sexual abuse of a child and 20 years for each count of indecency by contact. The girl was just 8 years old when the abuse started, and she didn't report it, though, until she was in her 20s. Well, more witnesses are taking the stand today in the Stanley Robertson murder trial, which is now in the punishment phase. Robertson was found guilty last week of killing his ex's mother in August of 2010. His attorneys called witnesses yesterday to show that Robertson is mentally unfit to be sentenced to death. Several psychologists and doctors gave expert opinions on his mental abilities. The state has rested its case. And the hunt is on in Waco for the man who robbed 2 people at knife point. That happened yesterday afternoon in the 4200 block of Franklin. Police say 2 people were robbed of their personal belongings. The man then sped off in a Chevy 1500 pickup truck. If you've got any information, please call Waco Police. Well, part of Interstate 35 in McLennan County is back open after a wreck. The southbound side of the interstate near the 355 exit near West was closed for several hours last night. State troopers say 2 18-wheelers were involved in an accident. And we're working to find out the condition of a driver thrown from their pickup truck. That accident happened around 9:30 last night at the corner of Waco and Valley Mills Drive. The driver of the truck tried to turn onto Waco Drive, and that's when a car headed in the opposite direction crashed into the truck. The driver of the truck was ejected and was badly hurt and had to be rushed to Hillcrest Baptist Medical Center. And we're getting a look at surveillance video taken just moments after a convicted sex offender stabbed an officer in North Texas. That man is still on the run, and former inmates say he swore he would never go back to prison. Sherry Williams has the latest now from Grapevine.
Take a look at this video. Police say this is Alberto Morales, a dangerous inmate on the run. This surveillance video shows Morales just moments after police say he stabbed Miami-Dade police officer Jaime Pardinas.
Grapevine 911, where's your emergency?
Pardinas, a highly trained detective, struggled to breathe as he made his own 911 call for help.
Okay, where were you stabbed at?
I've been stabbed in the neck.
Stabbed in the neck.
Pardinas and his partner were transporting Morales by car to Nevada, where he was serving time as a convicted sex offender. They made a pit stop at this Walmart in Grapevine Monday night. While his partner was inside the store, police say Morales stabbed Pardinas with the earpiece of some broken glasses.
In a gray SUV.
Gray SUV? Where's the guy who stabbed you?
He ran.
The Walmart surveillance video shows Morales running and making his escape. Police describe him as violent and unpredictable, and that has residents in the area on edge.
I set out with my pistol And I figure he's probably long gone if he's whatever he's doing, but I just felt like on the outside chance I had to do something.
In the surveillance video, you can see the officer and Morales struggle in the SUV. They both fall out before Morales runs off, and the bloodied officer then walks into the store.
That was Sherry Williams reporting. Officer Pardinas is still in the hospital, but he is expected to make a full recovery. Well, a Houston man who held his own baby at knife point during a standoff with police is now dead. Neighbors called police yesterday afternoon when they heard that man arguing with a woman. And when police got there, she ran outside. Then the man grabbed the baby and a butcher knife and backed into the bathroom. Officers tried to calm him down for about an hour, but it didn't work.
In one hand, he has a crack pipe that he is lighting and smoking, and in the other hand he is holding the baby, who is 1 year of age, with a knife to the baby in various parts of the baby's body. Once he put it to the baby's throat, that's when one of our officers fired his weapon.
Well, the man was killed, and that incident is now under investigation. It's taking longer than expected for that stranded Carnival cruise ship to make it back to dry land. 4 tugboats are pulling the Triumph to Mobile, Alabama now. The ship was supposed to be there by this afternoon. Now a Carnival spokesperson says the ship will be there sometime between 8 and 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock rather tonight. More than 4,000 passengers and crew members have been stranded on board since Sunday. That's when an engine fire cut off power to the ship. Preparations are underway in Mobile to accommodate those people once they get there.
There's a lot of people, but we're gonna have catering with hot food for them, and Carnival has stepped up the pace and brought in a lot of. They're the ones bringing in the hot food, and Carnival's doing everything they can.
Well, they need to step up the pace of those tugboats, too. Passengers have reported sewage sloshing in the hallways, flooded rooms, and a shortage of food. Carnival has already announced it will give each passenger $500 on top of a full refund. They'll also get a free cruise in the future. Well, the big merger between American Airlines and U.S. Airways is now official. The announcement came this morning, but the deal has been rumored for months. Local service for Waco, Killeen, and Bryan College Station will stay the same. Waco City spokesperson Larry Holsey even says the merger could be good for the area. That's because United Airlines stopped serving the airport last year. The airline will keep the American name, and it will be based in Fort Worth. Governor Rick Perry is back from his trip to California, and it probably didn't go how he expected it to. That's because his trip to lure California businesses to Texas was a bust. Perry met with business owners and leaders, but none of them were convinced enough to pick up and move. He even hosted a reception for more than 200 companies who had thought about moving, but only 20 of them showed up. Last week, Perry was featured in radio ads that play up our state's low taxes and industry-friendly regulations. Well, construction will start next month on a new Cabela's Outpost store in Waco. That company made the announcement today. The store will be in the Central Texas Marketplace at I-35 and Loop 340. This location will be the 4th one in Texas. The company is expected to hire around 100 full-time and part-time and seasonal workers. Doors are expected to open sometime in the fall. And coming up next on the Texas Report Midday, First Alert meteorologist Mary Mays will have your full Texas forecast. And a little later, he was an Olympic hero. Now the Blade Runner is facing some very serious charges. Plus, now that the manhunt for Christopher Dorner is over, hear what his hostages have to say. That's coming up next after the break.
Welcome back. We're taking a live look at Waco, Woodway, and Hewitt with our Extraco Eagle Eye, and you can see beautiful blue skies. Temperatures are warming up out there with that sunshine. 57 degrees currently in Waco. It's 57 in Temple, 61 in Killeen, and 55 in Bryan College Station. And here are our temperatures across the rest of Central Texas. Already seeing some 60s out there in Hamilton, Gatesville, and Killeen. 59 in Georgetown, and it is 58 in Corsicana. Still mid-50s in Bryan College Station and in Hearn, but we are seeing some nice warming. It's turning into a really beautiful afternoon. Winds are out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour, and pretty nice, just a little bit of a breeze for you. Taking a look at satellite radar, you can see beautiful blue skies out there. We are seeing clear lots of sunshine. It is going to be a very nice afternoon, but tomorrow is going to be a little bit different. We do have a cold front sitting up towards our north that's going to swing in tomorrow, and it's going to be a completely different day tomorrow. So enjoy this nice weather. Let's take a look at it with our future track. So mostly sunny today, upper 60s, could see some 70s as well. That's definitely a possibility, especially with the way we are heating up. Now, taking a look at tonight, we'll stay clear. Temperatures will be falling. It'll be pretty chilly in the morning when you head out the door, upper 30s, low 40s. So you're going to want to coat once again. The afternoon, we do have a cold front swing through during the day, brings in more cloud cover, and our highs will only be in the mid 50s. So Friday afternoon not looking quite as nice as this afternoon. Taking a look at the high temperatures for the day, upper 60s. We're going to see 68 in Waco and Temple, 69 Killeen, around 68 in Bryan College Station, and with winds out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour, you could see some 70s out there as well. If we get just enough sunshine, enough wind, it could be a little bit warmer than even what's forecasted. Tonight's forecast, upper 30s, low 40s, 38 in Waco, 39 Temple and Gatesville, around 40 for Killeen and Georgetown, and 43 in Bryan College Station. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 15 miles per hour. Planning it out for you, here is your weather tracker. 60 degrees at noon, 68 at 4 p.m. Some areas could be a little bit warmer than that. Low 70s, definitely a possibility today with all that sunshine. Headed in towards a chilly evening, 47 degrees at 10 p.m. and tomorrow morning, starting off pretty chilly, upper 30s, low 40s. Here's that 7-day forecast, and once again, we are going to be cooler tomorrow afternoon than what we're seeing this afternoon. It's going to feel like a different day, mid 50s, and we're going to keep around those mid 50s through Saturday. We are keeping track of a very slight chance of some wintry mix on Saturday morning, but not looking quite as likely with our models. They keep kind of going back and forth with that, so we'll keep you updated. We could be taking that out of the forecast. Looking at mid 60s on Sunday, 71 on Monday, and then 59 on Tuesday. We're going to have another front move through. You can see increased chances of rain as we headed towards next week, especially next Wednesday, Thursday. We'll keep you updated, but looking like a more active weather pattern. But for today, looking really great.
Cannot complain. And I do hope that we don't have rain chances on Saturday, because last weekend we had rain. It's just not the best timing if you want to get out and enjoy your weekend.
Well, if we do see some, it'll be very early and just very light, but it's not looking that likely at this point.
Okay, we'll be watching it. Thanks, Mary. Well, astronomers across the globe will have their eyes glued to the skies tomorrow. That's because an asteroid named DA-14 will be passing by Earth. The 150-meter meteor will come so close that it'll actually be inside the orbit of some satellites. NASA says this will be the best opportunity ever to monitor a near miss by such a large asteroid. Well, fortunately, we're in no danger of being hit this time. Astronomers say an impact from a rock that big, though, would cause an explosion equal to a 2.5 megaton bomb. Well, as a double amputee, Oscar Pistorius is the first para-Olympian to compete in the Olympics. But when we come back, the man dubbed the Blade Runner now faces some very serious charges. And a surprising discovery about military dogs returning from combat. All the details when we return. Welcome back. Olympic sprinter Oscar Pistorius is now charged with murder. Police got to his home this morning and they found his girlfriend shot a number of times. Riva Steenkamp was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers also found a handgun and took Pistorius into custody. Pistorius made history at the London Olympics last year. He became the first double amputee runner to compete on the track. Steenkamp was a supermodel known for being outspoken on women's rights, and last night she tweeted her excitement about Valentine's Day. She said, "It should be a day of love for everyone." Well, the front runner for the top NATO spot could be retiring. That's according to a member of General John Allen's staff. General Allen spent nearly 2 years as commander of NATO forces in Afghanistan. Late last year, he was tangled up in a scandal over embarrassing emails with Florida socialite Jill Kelly, but Allen was cleared of any wrongdoing. Before this latest development, the White House was expected to proceed with his nomination to head NATO. A California couple is opening up now about the frightening minutes they spent with Christopher Dorner. Karen and Jim Reynolds came up on Dorner when they walked into their condo on Tuesday. Well, they think he'd been there since as early as Friday.
He opened the door and came out at us, and he had his gun drawn.
He sort of yelled, "Stay calm," and ran out.
They say Dorner told them he wouldn't hurt them, but he did tie them up and then stole their car. Dorner later got into a shootout with sheriff's deputies. He killed one of them. The cabin he was in caught fire and then burned down. Investigators say they found a body inside, but they're waiting to positively identify it as Dorner. Dorner killed 4 people in all and wounded 3 others. And police in Northern California made a surprising discovery this week. While searching a man's property, they found over 100 weapons hidden inside a cave. You're taking a look at pictures of what they found. Police were searching the 55-acre property because the owner was arrested earlier this month. The stockpile included AR-15s, sawed-off shotguns, and bayonets.
Any other reason to possess these many weapons unless you're manning a small militia?
The property owner is now being held without bond. Police say many of those weapons were stolen. San Antonio police say a tip from a concerned parent led them to a synthetic marijuana operation. The mother called police Tuesday and told them her son bought some of the fake pot from a local gas station. Police say they found hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of the drug, which was marketed as potpourri.
Rampant throughout San Antonio, and we just want to get it out so we can put a stop to this, because the people buying it are juveniles, and it could kill you.
So far, no one has been arrested. Officers plan to investigate other stores to see if they're also selling the fake pot. Well, they bravely serve alongside their human counterparts, and research shows war dogs have something else in common with soldiers. Coming up next on the Texas Report Midday, we'll take an in-depth look at what's being called canine PTSD. Welcome back to the Texas Report Midday. Military dogs have saved countless American lives in Iraq and Afghanistan, and research shows they're paying a price for it. Experts say they could be dealing with some of the same issues our servicemen and women face when they come home from war. Jim Douglas has the story.
Here you go. At Lackland Air Force Base, good boy. Fun and games for dogs. Life and death for handlers.
Do you think your dog saved your life?
Oh, I know he did, on more than one occasion.
That scar on Jeff Justice's arm isn't from his combat in Iraq. It's from helping an injured working dog covered in blood.
And when I found the injury, he responded the only way he knew how, and that was to lash out.
Justice's wound did not hurt his passion for training war dogs. There were about 1,200 deployed to Iraq. Most are now in Afghanistan. Dogs sniff out hidden bombs better than any machine. They're bred for it at Lackland. Only about half these Belgian Malinois pups will make suitable military dogs, but even the best are not machines.
As early as 2007, we were starting to see dogs that were being affected by what we're now calling canine PTSD. We just really didn't know what to call it.
It's an aggressive dog? How you doing, aggressive dog?
Dr. Walt Burkhardt is chief of behavior medicine at the Holland Working Dog Hospital at Lackland. He says initial reports were sporadic. Dogs starting to cower, get overly excited, or too aggressive after firefights and IEDs. Reports kept coming, so many that veterinarians labeled it PTSD.
About 30 to 60 dogs per year are being identified with canine PTSD, what we're calling canine PTSD.
That's 5 to 10% of all dogs sent to war. Lackland Air Force Base trains more military working dogs than any place in the world. There are about 900 right now in training, but it's only within the last 3 years or so that they started studying PTSD in dogs. Dr. Burkhardt is quick not to equate it with human PTSD, but says handlers need to recognize symptoms so dogs can be removed to de-stress. Severe cases require drugs for depression and anxiety. The worst are retired.
I don't know of a single case where we've euthanized a military working dog because it's shown signs of canine PTSD.
A sensitive issue. Before a law change in 2000, nearly all military dogs were euthanized when they could no longer work. Now, nearly all are adopted, mostly by their handlers.
And he saved my neck multiple times.
Marine Sergeant Brian Manthe took Zisco to war 3 times, then took him home. A memorial wall in a training room provides a constant reminder that dogs and their handlers have paid a high price. Trainers say that price has bought a lot of American lives.
Again, that was Jim Douglas reporting. And when we come back, Mary Mays has a final check of our weather. Don't go away. Finally here on the Texas Report Midday, if you'll be celebrating Valentine's Day solo, that's okay, you're not the only one. And a new survey, we've got one for you. It ranks the best cities for money-savvy singles to find love. The survey looked at several factors like the number of singles and the cost of a date night out. Well, in TV and movies, New York City is usually the place to be for singles, but in reality, that's not the case.
It came in at number 10 because it does have a high population of unmarried people, but it didn't rank so high in our list of 10 because it comes with a very high cost of living, not surprising.
Well, believe it or not, Bloomington, Illinois came in at number 1. Who knew? Bloomington, Illinois. Well, it snagged the number 1 spot because its high median income and young population. Baltimore, Maryland was the runner-up, and I don't know what. Oh, did you see that heart wipe there? That was
no,
nice. Thank you for Sam for doing that. Don't know what Waco, Temple, Killeen are.
Yeah.
Wonder if how they are for singles. Don't know.
Well, hopefully everyone here considers them number 1.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, if you're headed out this afternoon, it's going to be beautiful, looking at upper 60s, maybe even some 70s out there. So really beautiful for Valentine's Day. We'll start to cool off as we head in towards the evening, and then tomorrow morning, upper 30s, low 40s when you head out the door. Mid 50s Friday, Saturday. We'll see 60s on Sunday. Back into the 70s on Monday. And you can see weather patterns starting to look a little bit more active over the next week.
More active than today. Today looks absolutely beautiful. Get out there, enjoy it. Thanks for joining us here on the Texas Report Midday. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.